to Arcturian philosophy. I had an interesting experience today. My credit card got stolen. Yeah, it seemed like a kid was a little bit too anxious with his abilities, maybe. Um, I asked Cryon, "What are we gonna do today?" And he said, the dishes." And I said, "Oh God, no. I'll go to the library and get those books that you want me to get already, okay?" And yeah, because he's saying you have to learn math and stuff again. You have to start studying this and get yourself back into it. And there might be other things that I'll go and tell you to find. Um, so I said, okay, fine, I'll go do that. So I knew that the library, they had however long to, prepare for me being there. There were two little kids that, unfortunately, started laughing at me and pointing and stuff. And I just looked at them and said, no, no kids, no. And they kind of stopped. It's just like, well, excuse me, I'm still alive and I'm going to stay alive. Hello. Um, so I end up walking around there. But I realized I'd forgotten my library card, right? So I think, oh, well, I forgot my library card. I think they'd probably prefer if I just walk out with the books and then come back some other time with the card because, see, when I walk outside, people do not like it around here when I walk outside because the place is just overrun with dark entities now. Or with people that, are trying to maybe break out of it, perhaps, but mostly everyone's gone to like weird satanic dark side. And remember, this is right next to Chevron's United States and probably global headquarters. I know it is definitely United States headquarters because my mom or whatever it is works there. So I was kind of raised as a child, sort of the Chevron tradition, and so it seems like perhaps that could be just why I'm here again instead of in San Francisco where I'd prefer to be, in order to, well, combat this all going back to the oil companies with the entire New World Order issue. So it's like at the heart of the beast, you could think of it that way. So I walk, to the library, and I end up finding a book about crystals and an interesting book about how to actually implement these sorts of plans on a world scale. How to take the ideas and make them into a reality, and actually how they did that in Sweden. So I thought, okay, whatever this is, this sounds good. And an interesting, curious sort of math, not exactly math book, not quite like typical math book, kind of interesting. And so in this information, I was told, well, you'll find some things here. Crown saying, you're one of these inventors that I talked about. I pulled your eyes to a page while you were on the camera to talking about a small group of inventors, and you are one of them. You have the ability to do it. You've figured out things that no one has thought of before, in all kinds of fields, and so whatever happens here, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be taken care of. You fully aligned yourself with the light. And so that was one thing that I had an experience at the healer, the reptilian healer in San Francisco, who ended up trying to break my bones. Had an experience at the healer. Despite that, I was getting told, now that you're fully with us, with the side of the light, now that you fully know who you're with, we will take care of you. You don't have to worry about those sorts of things. We're going to take care of you, even if you have no idea, what's going on, or this or that. We'll point you in the right direction. And so what they were so happy about, Cryon told me, now you're going to have all these opportunities to minister to people, but each opportunity to minister to someone is probably going to be first experienced by something very unpleasant, preceded by something that's an unpleasant event. So I go into the smoothie place and my credit card gets stolen right out of my wallet as I'm holding it, just disappears, bam, because of some telekinetic kid. And I hear, Dad looks down and says, you go to jail for that, but I don't know if they were acting or not. I don't know what was going on. I realized, there's no credit card. And I think, whatever. And I knew that what mattered, though, was my reaction. What would determine two different courses of, which way I would go would be my reaction. And so I could have gotten really angry, I could have gotten, screaming, which one of you has my freaking credit card, give it back to me, screaming in the store or something. But instead, I thought, oh, well, okay, what do I do? And I thought suddenly it was like I could think a little bit like her, like my corresponding Arcturian a little bit, where it's just calculating different paths, like someone playing chess. And I could see, oh, okay, I call and get it replaced. That seems to be the absolute best thing to do. Alright, and so I set on that course, or set that intent out so people can see that. And I end up thinking, what is going on here? I go to the library, come out, and on the ground, I pass a check on the ground, but I walk past it. But after I passed it, I heard, it's a blank check. And I thought, well, I knew that when I passed it, but I thought, I don't want somebody's blank check. No. But I went down, picked it up, and it was a completely blank check, where everything was blank. There was no signature on it or anything, and I'm thinking, what, you guys are trying to make me forge a check? Or did someone drop their check? Are you trying to give this to me in some sort of weird screwing yourself over, screwing me over, saying sorry, my kid stole stuff? It was bizarre. And I just thought, well, given this weird stuff going on in this area, giving everybody's ritualistically screwing each other over, because that's how reptilians tend to be at first, until you show them you don't have to be that way, I thought, well, how about I'll keep it for safekeeping. Who knows what I might do with it. For now, I'm just going to keep it, and we'll make sure that nothing happens to it, as far as I can see. And thought, okay, so not going to do anything with that, simply keep that away, even though you people are doing whatever, stealing my credit cards or whatever, or hacking into my bank account, weird stuff like that too. But as I walked home, I could see in my mind, okay, I see what to do. What to do is, I pictured giving the check back to whoever had dropped it, and saying, you don't have to worry about your son or anything, because you see, reptilians are actually really afraid of humans. They're really terrified of humans, of what we can do if we get set off. If we're kind of like ticking time bombs a little bit to them. If we get set off with our abilities, which we don't even know we have really, and we just boom, explode. It's like in True Blood with Sookie. It's like that. Seriously, it is. So that's why they'll act really skittish around humans now, it seems, if you live in an area with 1 billion of them. So I said, no, you have a beautiful son. I remember when I was on a different dimension or whatever, in this same place, or in this same complex, there was a family walking, and the boy said to his mother, "Mommy, she tried to push me." And all I did was look at his back. I was just looking around, like normal person, looking around or whatever. And I said, "Oh, no, you have a really beautiful child." And then I realized, to that it sounded to them like I wanted to eat the child. And I was like, no. I couldn't get it through straight. So, the society is built very much on fear. And when I realized, oh, okay, I imagine I'm giving this back to you, this check back to you, and saying, no. When I was a little girl, I stole a magazine from a store because I didn't understand that you had to pay for them. So just discipline your son as you would, and let him learn from this experience. And I'm calling to replace this card. And so the idea is, even if things are done to you that are to make you angry, if you're an indigo and you have a propensity to get really angry about stuff, this is the stage of going past that degree of, just blowing up over everything being screwed up, because the intention in the other positive direction changes so many courses at once that's how things can be intercepted, like apparently how I helped with. An intention that's very powerful like that can change so many courses of history at once. I suppose if you have your history all going on at once, then I've heard the analogy that you can hold it in your hand, and that's where everything is almost like it's suspended. It can change very, very much from what we think as a linear system to that which is non-linear. And so that's why the numbers will not make sense with me, or lots of reasons the numbers don't make sense with me. And what was so strange is that right after I thought of this and realized, oh, I'm playing a part in this child's lesson, I heard angelic singing at the concept of playing a role in a child's lesson of their growth. That no, we don't steal like that. No matter what kind of sadistic entity or thing is telling you to. I heard this beautiful angelic singing for a second, and I thought, oh, is that what people are talking about with hearing angels sing? But it stopped really fast, so that was interesting. So I'm going to continue reading my books, and this is how we continue to also break out of programming. We react differently to different stimuli. So this is all classical conditioning, or a lot of it is. How will a person react in a given situation? If we change how we are reacting to the different situations, we then change the projected course of history. So how we move about life in what we perceive as space and time has the ripple-like effect everywhere. Would be a more, perhaps an easier way to say it. I think I will make my video about the screw tape letters a little bit later. And this was a video that got deleted. The one that was about the screw tape letters, it got deleted and then replaced by the deprogramming video that had gotten deleted. So I don't know who was messing around with the phone. Like, wow, did you know I'm on Earth, and guys, this happened, and wow, that is right there. Okay, that is the best kind of attitude to have when this sort of stuff is happening to you. When you can have the walk-in type attitude, then that really gives you a lot of power. It seems, or it makes it very hard for other entities, almost like you have blinders on, like that you can be in the middle of a tornado and you're just like zone don't notice, when you feel connected to the stream of, say, whatever starseed race or you are, or whoever you'd call, say, like in the movie Avatar, whatever your corresponding partner is to whoever whatever you'd want to call it, is. It's a very fun mindset to have too, because it feels like being in the middle of a video game, and being in the middle of a video game is fun if you like video games, right? So I think that will conclude this episode of Arcturian Philosophy, and we will keep on moving through this very interesting situation right next to Chevron headquarters over there. So, blessings and good night to you all.